I think that this kind of commentary is unfortunate. The NDC is a stakeholder in Ghanaian affairs. We reserve the right to comment on national happenings. So the fact that we have done so does not mean that we are speaking for the BNI. Unfortunately, the BNI doesn't have a public relations outfit, which is something that going forward they may want to look at addressing. There are also advantages for actually having the status quo remain. But there are also government officials, including myself, who have the capacity to check with the BNI in order to learn about exactly what they are doing so that we can speak to the issues factually. So I don't think that it is fair to brand NDC activists speaking on this matter as spokespersons of the BNI. Again, those who have spoken on behalf of the MPP in this matter can also not be branded as spokespersons. There are some who are not members of the MPP. They may be sympathizers or surrogates, but they cannot be said to be spokespersons. And I think that the way that we carry out debate in this country is completely unfortunate. That should be cut out. Second, there is no self-respecting security agency anywhere in the world that will not take the action that the BNI took upon learning that you have persons from another country engaged in some form of training in an obscure part of this country, especially given the heightened security awareness around South Africa and around West Africa and around the world. So the BNI did no wrong in swooping in to undertake the exercise to find out exactly what was happening. Indeed, they would have been remiss had they not acted on the information that they got. The other point that needs to be considered is are the explanations that have come forth from the MPP themselves regarding why these people are in this country. First of all, an attempt was made to distance the party and the flag bearer from this. Nano Bribuahin, Deputy General Secretary of the MPP, said that it had nothing to do with the party or their flag bearer. That turned out to be incorrect. Really? Yes, it's on record. Second, there were members of the party or accredited spokespersons, at least Nana Kumia, issued a public statement in which he conceded that these people are in the country at the behest of the MPP. Indeed, there was no mention of Delta security in that official statement. Subsequent to that, there have been other renditions that they were brought in for crowd control because Nana Akufo-Addo and Bawumia have become so popular. Then only
you have seen the facts.
Yes, no, but only 2 days ago, the national chairman held a press conference and claimed that it was because of an imminent plot by government and its affiliates. Of course, excuse my language, but that is a pure lie. It's the most incompetent and abysmal defense that has been attempted in a matter. How do you go and make such an accusation and fail to provide any kind of evidence? From where I sit, I know it to be a complete lie. Nobody in government or affiliated to it, as far as we know, has any plot to harm Nana Addo. Nana Addo has been working around this country for decades. He has been in active politics for decades. And nobody has brought
some reference
any proof.
A party spokesperson or even an executive member in Kumasi or Ashanti region who has gone on radio to say that they were sharpening their cutlasses in readiness to hack some people, which the party found necessary to reprimand.
Absolutely. So that actually buttresses the point I'm making. That if an errant party member goes to make threats, not specific threats, and the party sanctions him, that is a mark of a responsible party. It is not the sign of a party that wants to harm anybody. Again, the MPP have even claimed that there's a radio presenter called Mugabe on Munti FM who had gone to say that Nana Addo will die by June, and that is if it is in Nana Kumia's official statement. Sometimes I can tell you that that claim itself is a blatant lie. That gentleman has never made those statements. It was please. You see, we need to be factual. It is one of these fabrications that you do on social media, just like the one they did about the interior minister, that he had said something about the people not being culpable for what they have been accused of on South African radio when he had not done that. Mugabe has never said that. He has publicly denied it. Indeed, the MPP has no record of him saying so, and if they do, I challenge them to publicly produce it. So you cannot, on the basis of such flimsy excuses, engage in what is clearly an untenable action. Listen, Samson, as a country, and I don't think that any country can encourage it, you cannot allow a situation where political parties form private armies of some sort under the guise of protecting their leaders. Ghanaian security arrangements are set out clearly in law. There's a police service that is responsible for internal security. Okay? All of us are bound by Ghanaian law. If you have security challenges, you alert them. There are also private arrangements, clearly and strictly regulated by law, that shows how you can go about seeking private security. In fact, the MPP's own conduct shows that they know that the police is the superior outfit that should be doing this job. I have seen pictures of Dr. Bawumia in the Upper East region. At least in that picture, I saw 3 well-armed policemen following him and clearly offering him security. Again, the MPP themselves, at least on 11 occasions, have had cause to call the police to either their headquarters or other branches of their party, where their so-called internal security, invisible forces, have been actively engaged in public brawls and violent conduct. So a party like that has this sort of record, whose so-called internal security engage in open violent conduct, and the pictures are there.
But what do you say? What do you say in the face of the facts that we have now?
What facts?
The facts of what materials
I'll come to that.
The 3 people brought into the country.
It is important that those,
and the facts of the history of these guys in this country.
Well, let me give you
and what they do.
Let me give you the history of one of them, the youngest amongst them. Is widely traveled. He frequents Iraq very often. That is history that you cannot discount. No, please, you can laugh. But no self-respecting security agency will overlook such a fact. The second point is that the accoutrements that my big brother Kweku and Egbert are talking about.
You are saying, let me understand, you are saying that if you have an individual like that who frequents Iraq and is coming to Ghana, and the security
you become
ought
aware.
To be alert.
You become aware of his presence.
Please.
I don't think that.
Go ahead. No, I'm just asking a rhetorical question. The president has visited Iran.
First of all, you are heckling me. Second,
I apologize.
You know that comparison is completely business. You know that. The other point is that the accoutrements that my big brother Kweku and Egbert are speaking about are accoutrements that they declared, what they brought in. Have they averted their minds to the fact that when they were arrested, where they were was searched? Are they aware of other accoutrements found?
What was found?
I can tell you on authority, they found military uniforms. They found accoutrement that is the sole preserve of the military. Not even the police are allowed to do that. They found sandbags. It is the military that are able to use that for purposes of training.
Holy Moses.
Oh, you see, it is important that persons come in. No.
Egbert, hold on.
No. Yeah. Mind you, one of the charges is that they are engaged in military training, unlawful training. Again, they were found in possession of a dossier on a company that has a close relationship with the state agency, the Electoral Commission, STL, I mean. Okay? That dossier contained detailed briefs of the profiles of key workers of STL and their operations. In fact, this is my own perspective. That signals espionage. We are spying on an agency that has a relationship with the state agency. I'm saying no self-respecting security outfit will not act in the way that the BNI has acted. The third point, if you watch the MPP responses carefully, they are cagey or at best sketchy about who invited the people into Ghana. If you read at least the official, I will discount radio commentary, okay? But I will speak about the official statements in terms of who it is that invited them. When the gentlemen
were really clear
when of course Nana Komia was silent. He only repeated the BNI claim that is contained in the news reports that they were invited by Captain Koda. Indeed, that is what the people told them. Something. I have spoken to the BNI, and I am aware that because of the way the issues are, I'm a bit constrained because of my position in government and also the fact that the matter is in court. And these matters may come up in court. But something, one of the entities, contrary to the claims by those who are claiming that they were invited by Captain Koda and Captain Akwa, one of them, one of the 3 people, was invited by a shipping company. Yes. Another 2 were invited by the Dankwa Institute. The shipping company, Dankwa Institute, even Captain Koda, as far as I know, do not operate security companies. By law, they cannot invite people to come and undertake this sort of training. You understand the point I'm making? And Captain Koda is on record to have admitted to the BNI that at least when they arrived, he picked them up from the airport. Again, on their disembarkation form, they indicated that they will be staying at Alisa and Movenpick doing their whatever business it is that they said they were going to do in Ghana. I'm not too sure whether the visa application form allows for one to indicate other businesses, but that can be verified easily. It's not a problem. For me, it is not a material matter. Okay. Yet they were found in Aguna Diakwa in El Capitano Hotel. I'm saying that no self-respecting security agency will overlook these facts. Again, the MPP's own contradictions and the many accounts and the many falsehoods that they have churned out would suggest significant levels of complicity in this matter. Okay. And otherwise, what would motivate a political party, for instance, to invent what they did yesterday? That Nanado's house was under imminent raid or attack, so they have gone to mass up there. The police actually went.
We are told that these supporters on their own decided to go there.
No. They claim that they picked up, and sometimes I'm a politician too. Okay, I am an
Are you
activist.
saying it is the party that invited these people to go to Nanado's house?
You see, we need to be candid about these things. I'm a politician. I'm an activist. I have mobilized people. I'm telling you that supporters on their own, without serious organization, won't mass up at the house of their flag bearer when there was no occasion. So let us discount that on truth. The police actually went.
Told similar stories, for example, when NDC supporters massed up at the Electoral Commission.
Something.
Okay. During election.
General Mosquito, I was there that day.
And that they were not organized. So it is
General
possible.
General Mosquito was there that day. He actually addressed them. It was a very, very peaceful convergence. I was there. It was very peaceful until the police started firing warning shots with dispersed.
No, it's about whether they went there on their own or they were invited. I just wanted to clear that.
Let us not pretend that those of us who are involved in politics, they say that in politics everything is contrived. No supporter will just get up and go to another's house when there's no publicized event.
Okay.
On the pretext of this.
Okay. Now, so
it is important that we are careful. And again, something there's a legal regime apart from the law under which they've been charged. You are aware of the LI 1571, which has been amended by LI 1573. Which spells, are you aware, for instance, that the persons who are recruited, so to speak, and called employees of
individually,
they must be registered. Their names and their addresses and particulars must be sent to the Interior Minister for him to approve.
No, but these people are not coming as employees.
But so in what capacity? No. In what capacity? Listen, you see, the law regulates.
That's the law.
No,
employees.
Yes. I'm saying yes, but who do you call employees? In what capacity were they being trained? In what capacity were they being trained? You cannot just go off the street and plug people and start training.
Oh, you are not talking about the 3 South Africans. You're talking about the 15 who are going
individually, each of them needs to be vetted by the Interior Minister.
That's what the law says.
That's what the law says. Even these South Africans, you see, something.
Where does the law
check the section?
Is it the vetting that you're talking about?
Give us a section. Which section?
Yeah.
Which section?
I'll pull it out for you. Don't worry.
I'm asking here. Tell us so that we can look at it.
I think it's a question of the vetting you mentioned.
Where is it in the law?
Something. Bearing in mind that they were invited by organizations that cannot be called security companies. The law says they ought to be registered before they can render the service, even private investigations. The law says you ought to be registered before you can render that service. Training. So before people jump ahead of themselves to dismiss what the BNI is doing and turn themselves into law courts and dismiss the case, they ought to avert themselves to the facts. The MPP story is not adding up. The BNI is involved in an investigation. They have not completed it. There was also another.
And yet they've charged people.
Oh, but why?
They haven't finished investigation.
So when you charge somebody, doesn't mean that you finish investigation. No, Egbert, you are telling me that in this country, the moment you charge somebody, you are still investigation.
Hold it there. Let me get to Kweku and come to
there's one more point about whether or not charges have been dropped against some people.
I wanted us to deal with that.